Clay Burnett here with head women's tennis coach Danny Rowland. Danny, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Coach, what a fall season you guys had. You guys had a tremendous start. You guys went 6-1. That overall success there in the fall really helps galvanize your team here a little bit, especially going into conference play this weekend. So kind of talk about that fall season and things like that.
Yeah, we had a good fall. You don't know what to expect when you have so many new faces on the team, but we went 6-1. The one match we lost was extremely close, and we won some very close matches too. We beat some quality teams, I thought, and I was real pleased with the freshmen and the whole team how we played in the fall.
So, you guys have a completely different look this season when it comes to your roster. You've got 6 new players. So talk about them individually a little bit, how this team's kind of flowing together this year.
Well, yeah, we have 6 new freshmen. We're still tinkering with lineups. It's still early. We played Belmont Abbey, and even though it was 6-1, it was a very, very close match. We lost a close doubles match that could have gave us the doubles point. And we lost 2-3 setters, and we lost another really close match. So that was kind of a deceiving score in that 6-1. So, again, we'll tinker with the lineup a little bit Saturday, change it just a little bit and see, we're still trying to figure out some doubles combinations and things like that. But with so many new faces, it's just going to take a while to get it where we need it to be, I guess.
Yeah, so talk about, I guess, you've got a few international kids, definitely a little bit different than what your team looked like, I guess, as a whole last year. I knew you had the Akamenko twins last year that gave you guys a lot of success there for the past few years. But you guys have a few new faces. You've got Cami, she's from Portugal. You've got Antonella. You've got from Venezuela. You have Lucy and Amelia, who are both from England. So you've got Madison Ramey, who is a little bit more local from Floyd, Virginia. And then you've got Emily Sims, same thing from across the pond. So talk about them a little bit and, what they've shown in the fall specifically.
Yeah, well, Cammie played really well. She's playing number 1 right now, and she's really taken on that role as the number 1 player. Whether or not she stays there will remain to be seen. But we've talked about that. But she's played really well there. She won against Belmont Abbey in singles and doubles, and we've been pleasantly surprised with how she's played so far. Antonella, we call her Tone. She did not play her best tennis in the fall, and we've talked about that as well. We said her best tennis is yet to come, and she knows that. She has a sister that plays D1 tennis at Richmond, and she knows how to play a high level of tennis. So we expect her to come into her own and play even better in the spring. Lucy and Amelia, they have improved so much since they've gotten here. They're still learning, as all of them are learning the college game because they didn't play high school tennis. So it's a little bit different on how we do things and everything. They have been, great. They've played good tennis. They're going to see better tennis, coming up in the conference. Emily, we're still learning on Emily. We haven't really seen her as much because she just got here in January. Yep. So we're still learning how Emily can play, where she's going to fit in. But we're real happy with what we've seen so far. Madison is a little less experienced than the rest of the girls, but she gives 100%. She has a great attitude, and the girls just love her. And, we hope to fit Madison in at some point as well.
So you've got 3 returners. You've got Sarah Nichols, Sarah Moore, and Emily Kahn. Talk about kind of, their influence on, especially 6 new faces, their influence on kind of making them more accustomed to this style of college play.
Yeah, 2 of those are sophomores, and Sarah Moore is our captain. She's a junior, but she is graduating this year. They've done a great job of kind of taking all 6 of them under their wing and telling them about their experience from the last year or two that they've played college tennis, kind of preparing them a little bit about, everything from road trips to practice to eating habits and just everything you could possibly want to know about how to play college tennis. So they've done a great job with that, and I'm really proud of them. All the girls get along great. They just they mesh real well, and they have from day one. So that's a plus as well.
So jumping back, you start conference play this weekend against Lenoir-Rhyne, like we mentioned earlier. This team went 15-9 last year overall, and they went, a perfect 500 in the league with a 6-6 record. They were ranked 6th in the preseason poll. So, how are we feeling against the Bears this weekend? And, just getting ready for conference play in general. I mean, you get a little bit of a break there. You play North Greenville then that next weekend. But then, March 11th, you guys basically just start back up in league play. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, those preseason rankings are you just don't know how to take those because really it's impossible to scout tennis teams because you don't know who lost who or who gained who and how good somebody's really going to be. So you could be 12th as we were and hopefully finish much higher, or you could be ranked 6th and finish much lower. So we really don't want the players to put much emphasis on that number 6 or that number whatever we're playing because it's just a number, as far as I'm concerned. And I tell them, don't go look at their lineups and get freaked out because they beat somebody that beat us. That doesn't mean anything. That we could match up differently than the other team matched up. And I looked at Lenoir-Rhyne's lineup. They have pretty much all seniors and grad students, so they are going to be very experienced. They lost their number 1 from last year, but they're 2 through 5 or they're 1 through 4 now, I think. And it's really difficult to judge that because our team last year was so different from this year's team. This year's team is very talented. They just have to realize how talented they are and reach their potential at some point. And that's what us as coaches have to do is get them to realize we are just as good as anybody. We just have to prove it and prove it to the league, obviously, because we were ranked 12th.
Yeah.
So we have nowhere to go but up. Nothing to do but surprise or pull upsets or whatever you want to call that.
Yep.
And I think that's a great position to be in because it's low expectations and we can just go out. If I can get them to play in a match like they play in practice at that level, and I've seen some very, very high level tennis, then we'll be fine. But I understand there's nerves involved with 6 freshmen and 2 sophomores, and it's tough. I've been there. I've played. I know. So we'll see. It's just a matter of which team shows up and how quickly we can get rid of the nerves.
Thanks so much, Coach, for talking with me today. UVA Wise faces Lenoir-Rhyne at home this Saturday with a 2:30 p.m. start. Check out a match recap and all results on UVAWiseCavs.com after the match. So thanks again, Danny.
Thank you. Hope to see everybody out.